We're here at the legendary San Diego Sports Arena, just enjoying some Gulls hockey, right where legends like Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Muhammad Ali battled it out right here in this building. Welcome to the Something or Other Tour. Oh, is that Brandon Crawford? I can't see too good. Welcome to the Something or Other Tour. We're here in San Diego, California. Cole's here.
Hey.
Yeah, and we're at a legendary venue here in San Diego at Pechanga Arena, better known as the San Diego Sports Arena. It sits right here in the midway area of San Diego, just north of the San Diego airport, and so much amazing sports history has happened right here at the San Diego Sports Arena. One of my favorite aspects of the history of the arena is its ties to the NBA, especially the history of the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. Go Dubs. We're going to talk more about it while we also enjoy a San Diego Gulls game. Let's go Gulls!
Let's go Gulls!
Yeah!
Yes, sir!
San Diego Gulls are a minor league hockey team. They have a lot of history as well. We'll get into some of that. Pechanga Arena was built in 1966, and the San Diego Gulls were actually its first tenant. They've been doing their thing for a while. So we're here for some awesome hockey, hopefully a fight or two.
Yeah, definitely a couple knuckles.
Yeah. The arena is still in use for a couple different teams, and also the parking lot has a big swap meet that goes on all the time. But even though it's in use, this area is set for redevelopment. There's a couple plans, possibly a soccer stadium for an MLS expansion team. It's still in the works, still being talked about, still being discussed, still being voted on. But basically the future of this place, it's on its last legs. And also the Los Angeles Lakers have a lot of history in this building. And we'll talk about that amazing history and the history of all the amazing artists that performed here as well.
He's ready to go.
There he is. That's dope, dude. Pick up the Zambonis. Look at him go. Dude, who doesn't love a Zamboni, huh? The arena was built by a local sports hero. His name was Robert Breitbart. He played high school football in San Diego, and he also played football for San Diego State. Now, you might not know it, this little hockey arena tucked right next to the San Diego airport has a ton of amazing NBA history. Some of the most legendary NBA players and franchises have ties to this arena.
This arena could very well have the deepest and the most connections to the NBA of any arena that's no longer active.
All right, here we go. Starting up. Let's go Gulls! Woo! Yeah! Let's go Gulls! Woo! Let's go fellas. I believe in you. I've always believed in you. This version of the San Diego Gulls is actually not the first iteration. There's been multiple organizations named the San Diego Gulls. This particular one has been in business since 2015, and they're an affiliate of the NHL's Anaheim Ducks. You may know them from Flying V fame.
In addition to the multiple Gulls franchises, there's been a whole variety of sports teams that called this arena home, including the San Diego Sockers indoor soccer team. They've won a handful of championships in here.
That's what I'm talking about. Get them right back.
Dude,
They hit you, you hit them right back.
goals on goals.
Yeah, dude. It's a Golapalooza. Tonight they're playing the Abbotsford Canucks. They're an affiliate of the NHL's Vancouver Canucks. They didn't get very creative with the name like the Gulls did, though. You know what I mean? You got
Yeah.
Ducks, you got Gulls, you got Canucks, you got Canucks. Yeah, let's go, go! They did it! Woo! Let's go!
There, dude.
Yeah, feed it to the center. Feed it to the center. Yeah! Yes! 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 Yeah! Let's go! Nobody wants to admit it, but you got it. You got to show up for the fights, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The fights put butts in seats. He left his gear on the wall. They show some of the people that played here, like our good friend Bill Walton, but he's being blocked by this little machine. But he's there. And of course, he's going to battle with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. How cool is that?
Our good friend.
Good buddy. The original San Diego Gulls of the Western Hockey League was the first team to play here. The first basketball team to play here was San Diego State Aztecs men's team. And then in 1967, San Diego was awarded an NBA expansion team. They had a contest to name the team, and San Diego had a reputation as a city in motion. And major corporations like General Dynamics were in the San Diego area, so they chose the name the San Diego Rockets.
The San Diego Rockets had many notable players. Their first ever draft pick was Pat Riley. They drafted Hall of Famer Elvin Hayes in their second year. Jim Barnett was a Rocket long before he became the voice of my childhood watching Warriors games as the longtime broadcaster in the Bay Area. This season, the Rockets even introduced their special edition city jerseys paying tribute to the green and yellow roots of the San Diego Rockets.
This arena hosted the 1971 NBA All-Star Game. Jerry West, Walt Frazier, Will Chamberlain, Lou Alcindor, before he changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's crazy to see what the hoops looked like back then. Nothing like the modern day hoops. A few years later, the San Diego Rockets was sold and eventually moved to Houston, where they are to this day. So a lot of people think they're named the Houston Rockets after NASA and everything that's in the Houston area. They're actually named after the aerodynamic and defense industries here in the San Diego area, which had a huge presence of private corporations as well as the United States military. So San Diego is seen as a city in motion. So Rockets was the perfect name. You kids know I'm a big fan of the Golden State Warriors. What's interesting about the Golden State Warriors is their name. They're not named after a city, they're named after the nickname of California. And that's because of this arena and the San Diego Rockets moving to Houston. At the time, they were named the San Francisco Warriors, and when the Rockets moved to Houston, the owner of the San Francisco Warriors saw opportunity down here in Southern California. He wanted to capture as much of that audience as he could. He renamed the team the Golden State Warriors, and they actually began playing some games right here in this arena. In addition to trying to capture some of the market down here in San Diego, when they changed the name to the Golden State Warriors, that's when they also started playing over in Oakland at the Oakland Arena, mostly known as Oracle Arena, which we've done a video on, did a whole tour. I did an NBA Finals game there. Oracle Arena was a place that, I love to death, you know? So if it wasn't for the NBA expanding to San Diego and creating the Rockets, and then the Rockets eventually moving to Houston, and then the San Francisco Warriors owner seeing the opportunity, there would be no Golden State Warriors. The official name is the Pechanga Arena now, but just historically, it's always been the San Diego Sports Arena. Pechanga is a nearby casino, actually.
It was Validue Center Casino Arena for a while.
Yeah, the Rockets' first game here, they played the St. Louis Hawks. That's the same as the Atlanta Hawks before they moved. You guys know that this is what I love. These old venues, its days are numbered. It's not going to be here much longer. And it just has the ghosts of sports past, you know? The ghost of all the most famous, legendary artists of the last handful of decades. Look at Mrs. Claus over there shredding.
Absolutely doing your thing.
Unfortunately, they didn't let me bring any cameras in here, So I'm filming all of this on my phone, so I apologize that the production value is not what I usually bring, which is a real bummer. I wish they'd allow cameras. I'd love to document the history more. And I'm actually gonna try to get in contact with the arena and see if there's any way I could do like an official video here. That would be awesome. We talking pond hockey. I think it's really cool that even this minor league team, there's kids here wearing jerseys. You know, there's people that are really, really into this, really invested in this, because a lot of people just don't care. If it's not LeBron James and Steph Curry, you know, and whoever the hockey stars are, I'm not Ovechkin. If it's not Ovechkin, right? If it's not Wayne Gretzky, you know, the great one, people tend to just kind of dismiss it. Obviously, the crowds aren't as big.
Do you know anymore?
I don't. Patrick Waugh, you know what I mean? Mark Messier.
How about Crosby? What's his name? What's the dude's name?
Mason Crosby is on the Raiders.
No, dude.
But it's really cool to see that people are invested. You got to remember, these guys are out there busting their tails, you know, to try to make their dreams come true. They're fighting to get a spot. They're fighting to get to an NHL team. They're having fun. They're enjoying it. They're passionate, right? Like, these guys work hard. And so it's cool that even if it's a small crowd, this crowd is invested and they appreciate what's going on out there. And I do too. As a struggling YouTuber that can't get any views, I get it. You know what I mean?
Awesome that they adorn the walls with some of the most notable performances.
Look at that. Hove performed here. Santana. I'm lucky enough to have seen James Brown when he was part of WCW Super Brawl at the Cow Palace. There was a wrestler named Ernest the Cat Miller who had sort of a James Brown gimmick, and then the real James Brown came out for that pay-per-view event. It was a lot of fun. In this building, Muhammad Ali fought Ken Norton. Ken Norton won by split decision.
This was the first fight of their legendary trilogy. Norton famously broke Ali's jaw during the fight. Ken Norton was a San Diego native, so the crowd was almost entirely on his side.
I like Ken Norton because his son, Ken Norton Jr., was a linebacker for the dreaded Cowboys for a while, but also the 49ers. He won a Super Bowl with both teams. His celebration was to go to the goalpost and punch the goalpost, and it was in tribute to his father, who was the famous boxer. How cool is that? On the wall, you can see the indoor mile record was broken in here, and Elvis Presley performed here 2 times in the 1970s.
John Wooden was a legendary coach for UCLA basketball, and his last game, a championship win, was in this building.
And they won the national championship here, yeah. It's cool, huh?
That's really cool.
What you think about that, dude? Taylor Swift, dude.
Wow, that's the best. I still think Beyonce should have won that. Whatever it was.
Kanye was right on that. We got Garth.
We got G-Bucks, dude. That ring toxic girl.
Yeah. Where are the bodies, Garth?
Yeah.
The families deserve closure. It's just cool to think, like, who was sitting in this seat watching Muhammad Ali and Ken Norton duke it out, you know? I don't know the stage configuration, but was anyone sitting here watching Elvis croon, you know? Oh, was someone sitting here in tears and Justin Bieber got to his ballads, you know? Who was sitting here dancing when Rihanna and A$AP Rocky was getting it lit? So cool, man. That goaltender's a stud.
Oh yeah. But now we might not be seeing any more action.
Yeah. The San Diego Gulls actually have a pretty dedicated fan base. So even on a weekday, there's a good amount of people here. And they're invested and involved.
Oh yeah.
Right? You know me, I love this kind of stuff. I love these places. I love that there's no fluff, there's no frills. It's just concessions, bathrooms, seats, and the playing field. That's it. What do you think?
It's awesome, dude. I like that it's personal,
Yeah.
close, and even the nosebleeds are close.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
We're sitting here 5 rows from the top, and the ice is right there. If they came out with a t-shirt cannon, I mean, they could hit me right here. They could hit me right between the eyes. There's not much I love more than doing videos at sports venues that won't be around much longer. I'm super happy I get to come here, I get to experience it, I get to document it with the video. Even though I can't do it with my real camera, at least I got something. So if you enjoy this kind of thing, me, him, and our cousin Steve-O just got into Arco Arena. We did a 3-part series on the Sacramento Sports Complex. So much cool history there as well. So if you're into this kind of thing, make sure you subscribe. Go check out the playlist. We got a sports playlist. We got a history playlist. We got museums playlist. A little something or other. You never know what you're going to get. I like any old venue that has an organ.
Oh, yeah.
Except for Dodger Stadium. Just a couple fellas enjoying a minor league ball game. Minor league puck game.
Yeah, there's no balls.
There's some. So after the Rockets move, the Warriors come here. They play a few games over the years, but not many. Some time goes by, and once the Warriors stop playing here, the ABA, the NBA's competitor, saw a hole in the market here. So they authorized the ABA's only expansion team in history, the San Diego Conquistadors, also known as the Qs. And San Diego once again had a professional basketball team set to play right here at the San Diego Arena.
The Qs made a big splash by signing the legend Wilt Chamberlain to be a player coach, but the Lakers sued to block him from playing, so he ended up being stuck just being the coach. The situation wasn't good for him or the team, and it fell apart.
But the city-owned arena and the team had a little feud going. So for a couple years, the Conquistadors weren't allowed to play here yet. But in 1974, they finally got to play right here in this arena. And that ended up being the only full season that they played at the San Diego Sports Arena. But the ABA was on tough times. They weren't doing so well as a business. And there was talks of the ABA and the NBA merging. The Conquistadors had been renamed the San Diego Sails. But before the Sails could be part of the ABA-NBA merger, they ended up going out of business. So once again, there was a hole in the basketball market down here in San Diego. A couple years later, the ABA and the NBA did merge. The NBA took on 4 teams, and the NBA relocated the Buffalo Braves here to San Diego and renamed them the San Diego Clippers.
The Clippers were led by hometown hero Bill Walton.
San Diego's own Bill Walton, a good friend of ours, played here.
Magic Johnson's NBA debut was right here as the Lakers took on the Clippers and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hit his patented sky hook to beat the buzzer. The fans of San Diego loved and embraced the team, but it didn't last long.
And then, of course, a few years later, the Clippers owner, Donald Sterling, you guys may know that name, a little infamous nowadays, he forced a move to LA. It wasn't authorized by the NBA. He just went ahead and did it. And ever since then, San Diego has been without a professional basketball franchise. But they got the goals, baby. They got the goals. The NBA had a huge lawsuit against Donald Sterling and the Clippers, which the Clippers lost, but they were able to stay in LA. And they also kept the Clippers name, which is funny because it's a reference to the ships in San Diego Harbor. But that's okay, because the other LA team is named the Lakers after the lakes in the Minnesota area, and they kept the name too. So whatever, and there's no Jazz in Utah. So ever since then, there's not been another NBA regular season game, although the Los Angeles Lakers do play preseason games here occasionally. So you'll see the likes of LeBron James, Kobe Bryant have played right here on this floor, which is pretty freaking cool, man. Steph Curry's played here.
In fact, all of the notable Warriors players were involved. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, and Kevin Durant. And the Golden State Warriors story comes full circle.
In 2015, there was a Lakers-Warrior preseason game here that got ended early because of a wet floor. Leandro Barbosa slipped, and they called the game.
I mean, did you kids hear that? The Brazilian Blur slipped and fell and ended a preseason game right here on this floor, right there.
The first glimpse we ever got of LeBron James taking the court in a Lakers uniform happened here.
The freeway goes right past this place, right? So most people driving by aren't gonna look over and be like, man, Wilt Chamberlain was in there battling it out in the paint, you know what I mean? Grabbing boards, you know? But he was. Just think of all the fans that were, you know, cheering on greatness right here in this little intimate venue. So
Here
cool.
we go, Kobe. They're cheering him on, another team.
I don't know, man. There's so much greatness walked into this building, including tonight. You know what I mean?
I just ruined your shot.
Including tonight.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy to think that this little arena, you know, has ties to the greatest NBA players and franchises. You'd never know it. This place has echoes of some of the most amazing history you can think about. Elvis performed here twice. Any notable, legendary music act from back in the day up to modern day. I mean, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, Madonna, Grateful Dead.
We're talking Queen, we're talking Bob Marley, we're talking WWE, episodes of Raw and SmackDown, and the Vengeance pay-per-view, which saw the unification of the WCW and WWE championships when the companies merged. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Jericho, and The Rock all took part.
Jimi Hendrix actually recorded one of his performances here that ended up on one of his LPs. A famous photo from the inlay of a Kiss album. The photo was taken right here when their stage was set up. Muhammad Ali battled Ken Norton right here in this arena. I mean, the Biebs himself. The Biebs himself.
Yeah, I'll stand up for that one. I'll stand up for Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying? I mean.
All right, that's it for the San Diego Sports Arena. It was a bit limited since I wasn't able to bring in any cameras or anything, but at least we got to document something and get in there and say we were in there. If you'd like to support the channel, we do have a Patreon, a lot of bonus content on there. We have a sports playlist with all kinds of cool adventures at different arenas and stadiums, as well as abandoned places and museums and all kinds of stuff. Like, subscribe, share, do all the cool things cool kids do. Something around the tour for life.
We're rolling.
What do you think about all the history here?
All the history is absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible, but the biggest part of the history right here is right here, San Diego Gulls, dude.
What's going on?